Hey there, this is Alan Tink, author, speaker, and corporate wellness advisor. And this is my Ultimate Success series helping you accelerate your path of success. And recently I've been invited to Yahoo and a couple other tech companies, and also a couple of my reason why this conversation came up about living a life balance has been asked by many of my clients. And I want to talk about the myth of a work-life balance. Now, many of you might know, like, hey, this is probably my perfect life. I go to work, I do the best that I can, and when I get home, I have more presence, I have more time for my family, for my wife and my kids. And then afterwards, we have this awesome dinner, and then on the weekend, we get to go skiing, go hang out with the kids, go do all this fun stuff. And Monday comes around, hey, I'm really happy, I want to go back to work again. Now, out of curiosity, how many of you guys out there actually live this life? I know I don't. And I've always struggled with this because this is the kind of like the ultimate, like for me, it's like the holy grail, right? But it's not possible. It's not real. And I've been studying about work-life balance for over a decade. When I first heard about it, at the time, at the time I was single. So I've actually worked like 12-hour days and even went to work on weekend as well. And I thought, hey, if I just work really, really hard and make enough money, then I can go buy a house and everything will be settled later. But that wasn't the truth. In fact, I did that for about a year and a half, and I started to feel this burnout coming along. Right? So that didn't work. So I started talking to other people, asking for their advice about work-life balance. And one of the things that I've been told was, hey, in India, they have this belief. And the belief is it's an 8x8x8 program or a concept. I'm like, okay, great. What is that all about? Well, it's you work for 8 hours, and then you go play for 8 hours, and then you go sleep for 8 hours. Well, that sounds awesome. I want to do that life. Okay, if you're a busy professional, meaning that you work in a very fast-paced, high-tech environment, or if you run your own business, have you ever tried the 8x8x8x8? It doesn't work. Why? Because like stuff just comes up. You have stuff to do, right? Yes or no? So that model doesn't work. Now that model might have worked back in the days when we're farmers, right? Like you wake up in the morning, you go plow your field, and then you plant your seeds, and you're done, you go home and you go eat, and you go spend time with your kids. That doesn't work nowadays. But if you even look at previously, during harvest season, I guarantee you that 8x8x8 does not work. So the question is, how do you live a balanced life? I don't know for you, but I'm always struggling because now I'm running my own business. It's like, how do I get my message out there? How do I help other people? Meanwhile, being able to take care of myself, my body, and also my wife and kids as well. Because isn't this true? When you're focusing on your business, what's getting neglected? Your family, right? Most of the time. Or if you focus on your family, you probably don't pay enough attention about your health. You don't go work out, you don't go exercise. But if you look at it, isn't that part of balance of life? Because if you look at all aspects of your life, if your relationship isn't doing well, it's going to taper off towards your business. If your business isn't doing well, it's going to affect your health as well. So everything is all interrelated. It's not just one silo after another, right? So how do you have this entire integration? So if you do own your business, how do you how do you be productive at work? How do you lead your team? Or if you are a corporate manager or an executive, how do you continue to bring the level of energy so that you can motivate your staff and be on top of your game? So so the question is then, how do you have the cake and have the icing on top of it as well? So I've studied, like I mentioned, I studied over a decade and looked at the best models and the worst models, and this is what I found out. So it's not about work-life balance, because if you're trying to balance your life, that's never going to work. For example, hey, I guess I don't spend enough time with my kids, so I'm going to take 2 or 3 hours out and go spend time with them. How's that working out? Because I'll guarantee you, when you're working at night, when you in front of your laptop typing away, guess who comes and see you and jump on you? Just like me. When I'm working, my daughter jumps on top of me and she wants to play with me. All right? So that obviously doesn't work. And I can't just tell her, like, hey, honey, like, I have time out right now. Go do your own stuff. But what she do? She wants to go play with me even more. Right? So that doesn't work. So then how do you really have that work-life balance then? And it's basically like this. The best model that I found these are from millionaires, also from Tony Robbins, is that, hey, realistically, the work-life balance is not going to happen. So what we really should have is called work-life integration. What does that mean? For example, for me, when I was writing my book, I was telling my wife, like, honey, look, for the next several months, I'm going to be super, super busy. I'm going to be focusing on my work. I'm going to be focusing on writing. And at the time, we went on vacation. We went to Hawaii. While she did her massage, I went to a Starbucks and I was writing my book. Right? So I incorporated that integration into her life. Sometimes she might not be very happy about that, but that's how we try to get everything done together. All right? So hope that helps give you spark some ideas and help you have this work-life integration. Because if you're trying to catch one thing after another, you're continually juggling this ball up in the air, and eventually it'll all drop. So what you need to do is talk to if you're married, talk to your spouse, about the projects you'll be working on, and make sure there's a timeline involved. Like, honey, I'm going to be like doing a full-out sprint for the next 3 months, and after 3 months, we're going to go out and take some time off, just you and I, or me with the kids, and we're going to have some time together. So make sure you block those time in and let them know that, hey, on this day, we're going to go out and go have a date night. On this day, we're going to take 3 or 4 days out on a vacation. So my wife is also going through nursing practitioner school right now. It's like the Master for Nursing. And she's going there like 4 or 5 days out of the week. Plus, she's working as well. So two of us are super busy. But one thing I want to know is, when does she have her spring break, which is coming up? So during spring break, we're going to spend 5 to 10 days and go on a trip, a family trip. This way, it helps us detox, not just from emotional detox and also electronic detox, right? Digital detox. We'll do our best to just not check our phone and not check our email, so that we are more present with each other. Second thing, it also helps recharge our batteries, so that when we do come back to work, we're refreshed and we're ready to go. So I hope this segment helps you with your work-life integration. Love to hear from you. Love to hear your comments. Feel free to post your comments below. And let me ask you this. What are some of the other questions about key to success that you are interested about, that you like to talk about or have me talk about in this discussion? Love to hear from you. Go ahead and post your comments below. And as always, have an awesome day. And this is Alan Ting.